here, and today I have wonderful guest, as usual, Lyubov Guk. She's my friend, and I know her for a very, very long time. I don't actually remember when we met. Do you?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
5, 6 years, maybe even more. Who knows?
Yeah, so I'm happy to see you. I haven't seen Luba for a very long time, so we decided to meet with all of you. So hope it's fine. Okay, so let's start our talk. Can you walk me through your professional journey so far?
Of course. Hi, everyone. And Sana, thank you very much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and I'll be happy if my story will be of interest and will be helpful to your guests as well. And talking about the story itself, first of all, as you know very well, it's never been a smooth sailing. Yeah, this is what I want to start from, and this is something that kind of helped me to become who I am, and I think it's just important caveat. Yeah, and my story, I believe, is not a typical one as well. So I started my career as in Ukraine in corporate finance space. This is where I spent maybe 2, 3 years, and then due to some life events and some important decisions, I decided to change it. So I realized that I want to do something different. I want to spend more time with people, and actually, I want to do something a little bit more meaningful, if that makes sense. I know you're from finance background as well, so forgive me for my words.
Well, I'm not financier anymore, thank God.
Okay, good. So I can I can talk about things as they are. So yeah, it just wasn't for me. I'm really grateful for those knowledge and for that experience that helps me a lot now. But yeah, so I joined a consultancy company. So I was in Ukraine back then. It was about maybe 8, 10 years ago, where I did this transition. So I joined the consultancy with the idea to build business bridges between Ukraine and UK. This is pretty much what I've been doing till today, but the tools are different now. So with the consultancy, we would work mostly with traditional industries. Like I had clients from metal working space, food manufacturers, fashion, IT outsourcing, you name it, packaging. Yeah, some of those are still trading in the UK, and something I'm particularly proud of, and I'm in touch with lots of my previous clients. But I always have been passionate about the tech space, and I think this brings us nicely to our today's conversation, because my professional journey is closely connected, is really connected to tech space, and in 2019, I decided to co-found my own company, Blue Lake, and I'll be glad to tell more about what we do. I'm still building bridges from some perspective, right? Because at Blue Lake, our focus is to invest in international founders in the UK. And of course, I still have close connections with Ukraine, with Eastern Europe, but also we have founders from all over the world. So for the past 4 years, I'm building Blue Lake, and at Blue Lake, as I said, we're investing in early stage B2B software companies with specific focus on immigrant founders. That's pretty much it. There are lots of stories, as you know, and lots of challenges, but yeah, I'll be glad to tell more about.
Well, my question is this moment when you decided to transition from finance into something else, why do you think it was so, why you were so eager to do that?
Good question. I think a few reasons for that. Number one, I realized that I'm more people person rather than numbers person. I mean, I do care about numbers, yeah, especially these days. Yeah, it's kind of crucial when you are when you're in the VC industry. But I really enjoy, spending more time with people rather than with Excel spreadsheet, if that makes sense. So that was reason number one. And reason number two, it just, so you know very well, in 2014, like in Ukraine, we had the first Russian invasion, and I'm originally from Donetsk, so I was there, and I lost my job. Plus, it wasn't safe just to stay in the region, so I relocated. So I moved to a different part of the country. So like, yeah, I relocated to the city where some of my friends lived back then. And I just decided to treat this quite unfortunate event as an opportunity, if that makes sense. And
Yeah, absolutely makes sense.
I thought, okay, it's probably a good time to change something, to do something different, because like nothing to lose, really. And that was my attitude back then. And I guess this is something that helped me, just became an additional push for me to change something, to try something different. And this is how I met David, who launched consultancy, which I joined, and who is now my co-founder. So it also it turned out to be a like life-changing meeting. And yeah, I'm really grateful for that kind of, I'm really grateful to those, as I said, quite unfortunate events, because they helped me to figure out what I really want to do with my career and with my life eventually. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So you mentioned that Blue Lake investing in international founders.
Yeah.
What exactly does this means? Because it's what people are you looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, good question. I'll try to explain. And this is a question I would hear a lot. And for some reason, for many people, investing in international founders or immigrants is a social play. I think it's not. One of the reasons why, because about 40% of UK unicorns were founded by immigrants. In US, the number is even higher, so it's about 55%. So yeah, just to give a couple of examples, in UK, that would be companies like Revolut, Deliveroo, Monzo, so all these big names. In US, yeah, quite a lot of examples. So there is very practical reason behind that. There is a social component as well, because I'm immigrant myself, so I relocated from Ukraine to UK 3 years ago, and while I really wanted to do so, so that was a deliberate decision, because I think UK has one of the best tech ecosystems in the world, and this is just the right place to be. But it wasn't easy, starting from like visa questions, and when you start everything from scratch again, it's kind of challenging. And I faced I faced with lots of issues, and like lack of network, lack of understanding how things work in this country, and just you're trying to figure out the rules. And so this is why I really appreciate when someone is coming to the UK and trying to build and grow their own companies, and at the same time trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. So I feel for these founders. So this is why the social component is in supporting these founders and being the first who believe in them, invest in them, and help them to get to the next stage. So I had those people in my career, and this is why I really appreciate that, like you are not alone, and you have people who believe in you and who would be your advocates, if that makes sense. So basically, we as a company, we are these not just investors, but we're also advocates for these early stage international founders coming to the UK.
Yeah, this is wonderful. But what exactly you're looking for in these founders?
Yeah, so there are few kind of basic criteria which founders need to meet. for us to consider them for investment. And so the basic criteria are they are on our website, so it's nothing magical about them. So it's early stage, pre-seed, seed. I know the lines are blurred, right? But we are talking about early stage companies. Let's say they have advanced MVP, ready to go product. They have initial traction, strong team. And yes, they are international founders. So we would be looking at first generation immigrants or second generation immigrants coming from all over the world to the UK. So they would be headquartered to the UK as well, or they are about to relocate and to relocate their HQ. So that's kind of few things we look at, like in initially when we see the opportunities. And then we also invest in B2B software only. So if it's a startup from B2C space, hardware, or something very specific like health tech, yeah, I mean, I would leave it to people who know what they're doing. But other than that, yeah, early stage, international founders, B2B software. So these are the box kind of we need to tick to continue the conversation. And then, so given the stage we're investing in, yeah, and it's early stage, and some of the founders we invested in, they have traction, so you can look at numbers, but not all of them, right? And at this stage, it's really about relationships. It's about spending as much time as possible with founders before we invest. So we're just trying to understand if there is a match, there is this chemistry between us, and just to make sure that, yeah, we're on the same page, and we, yeah, and that it's a match for everyone. That's I think is the right way to say it. And then, yeah, we do due diligence, all the usual stuff. But yeah, I guess at this stage, it's really all about founders.
What social skills and soft skills you looking for?
Yeah, a few things. Communication. I think that's the first thing you are assessing consciously or subconsciously. So
if it's international founders and English is not their first language, I mean, it's not everyone is pitching on great level.
Good point. It's not about the language, not at all. And thank you for bringing it up, because yeah, it's important to clarify. Like, of course, we expect you to speak English if you want to relocate to the UK, right? But hey, I know that my English is not perfect, so I'm not judging other people at all. Unless you are comfortable with talking to your clients, talking to your investors, that's fine. I mean, we all do our grammar mistakes. Also, ChatGPT really helps to sort this out. But I'm talking about, when I say communication, it's more about, being proactive, being, let me give you an example, right? So when someone would send me a LinkedIn message, and it's not like me showing up here, it's just something I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And it's just a pity that, these people are wasting their time by sending these kind of cold messages. Hey, Lyubov, your profile looks great. Let's have a chat. Or even better, this is my deck. Would you like to invest? No, I don't even want to reply to these kind of messages, just because I know you send them to, thousands of other random people. So you haven't looked at the profile, you haven't looked at what we're investing in and what I'm actually doing. Yeah. So I really appreciate when people do their homework. So that would be message where you read it and you realize, okay, you spent time just to have a look at my profile at our website. There's plenty of information actually available, right? And then it makes sense just as a step zero, to establish this first connection. Then we can have a call, like whatever. But I think these are small things which you're looking at from the very beginning, be it LinkedIn message or email, or even, let's say, like maybe we met somewhere at the event and like we had the chat and you said, yeah, I will send you something, deck, presentation, whatever. And then the person disappears for a month. And then in a month, yeah, remember we spoke. I mean, like, yeah, but you know what I mean? So it's, if you promise to send something, please do. So emails, follow up, so small things, which shows that you are proactive, you know what you want, you value your time and my time as well. I think these are small things, and this is like when I say communication, so it's about just doing what you promised to do and be proactive. And I have to say, so in our portfolio, probably the best, the startups who are best performers, they're best communicators as well. And I'm sure there is a correlation between these two things. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So as far as I remember, you had a hectic year, right?
Yeah.
And how you balance all of this. I'm not asking about yoga classes or something, but how
Yeah.
exactly you keeping yourself, your sanity?
Yeah, good question. I don't know if I have an answer, to be honest with you. It's been difficult. I guess it's been difficult for the whole tech space, no
Yeah.
matter you're a VC or you're a startup or something in between. Plus, yeah, it's never easy, right? But there are some periods in life where it's particularly challenging because of some external or personal events. I don't know, just I'm trying to kind of apply the mindset where you just keep going, and when needed, yeah, just take a break. So it's not always the case, unfortunately, because yeah, when you are building something, and we're startup ourselves, right? So it's still work in progress and lots of pressure and uncertainty. But what I learned, that it's absolutely important, it's crucial to take breaks, be it a day off, or even, I know, to like switch off my laptop and go for a 15-minute walk and just have some fresh air. So yeah, that's kind of my number one rule. Uh, then people help. So I really appreciate that I have amazing people in my network, friends, or something a little bit formal, like we have advisory board. So it's important, I think, to have someone you can talk to and share things that bother you, because otherwise, yeah, you're just putting everything in this small box, and it just, yeah, it's a way to having even more troubles. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest with you. And you probably can hear it from my quite hesitant answers, just because I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it's really tough, and this is why I like. I think I feel for these entrepreneurs as well, whom we're investing in, when there are sometimes there are just kind of tough periods. And so I'm also trying to be a like sounding board for someone else who need it, just because I've been through it myself. So yeah, it's still work in progress.
Yeah, I believe that for anyone who is moving fast in career, in any type of activity, actually, because, for example, I worked with different people, C-level founders, aspiring entrepreneurs, people who just dreaming about doing something.
Yeah.
When you want to move fast, build things, want to be better, it's always hard. It's always like roller coaster, because for example, you just posted a video that you spent your day on, and no one likes it. Isn't it hard The same as with your product. You build the product, no one cares about it. It's hard, and so on. So yeah, life is hard. But coping mechanisms, we need to figure it out and get yourself good sleep and good rest and love yourself. So I hope you will figure it out and you will get your energy and you're gonna do best. So international founders, they, I suppose, as you mentioned, they have a lot on their plates. It's like new country and visas and so on and so on. So how exactly you help them that other funds maybe not helping them?
So a few things, and the caveat here is I don't think we're doing something special. I think it's more about seeing those founders who typically would be overlooked by other investors just because they might be not as polished as your typical UK startup, just because again funny accents and all this stuff. We're all human beings, so we have our biases, which doesn't help, unfortunately. So I think in our case, what makes us different is that as I said before, like we don't care about your accent and where you came from and like where you live and what's your background, where you studied. So it all doesn't matter as long as you know what you're doing, you know what you're building, why you came to the UK, and just I guess you did your homework, you did your research, so you know that this is the right market for you, and you're building something exceptional. So that's what really matters for us. But unfortunately, and I heard so many stories where it's really difficult to reach out to local VCs. Some of them don't have contact details on their websites. I know things are changing now, and lots of funds, they are utilizing AI instruments to actually spot these founders at the very beginning of their journey, so to find them first. But at the end of the day, it's all about reaching out to real person, and you just may experience different attitudes and this kind of stuff. But I guess what makes us different, that we're really approachable. I want to think so. I also have lots of unresponded messages on LinkedIn and email, and we have application form. But we do our office hours, and my calendar link is on our website. So if you want to have a quick chat, just informal conversation, you're very welcome to do so. And you can, if you're in the UK, especially in London, you can meet either my co-founder or myself at lots of events here. So it's about being there, being with founders, and spending as much time with founders as possible to find them, to spot them, to invest. And then after we invested, we don't have answers for all of your questions. We are not experts in any fields we're investing in. Some of them are more familiar, some of them are less, and and that also kind of reflected in the level of our support. But I guess the message we're delivering is that no matter what questions you have, you can come to us. If we can help, we will. If we cannot, we will direct you to other people who can. So that's kind of the attitude that, we're your partners. We also have it's difficult to find the balance, because you want to see progress, you want to have your regular updates and more formal stuff, but at the same time, I think it's important just to be human and to project this readiness to help, readiness to listen when needed, and readiness to support. That's, and I don't, as I said, I don't think this is something particularly unique. It's probably not, but I think given the type of startup we're investing in, I think it's absolutely crucial. Yeah, it's like, I think it might be maybe number one criteria why startups want us on board, plus funding and other kind of important thing. But yeah, so that's the attitude we are trying to apply.
Mm. Well, such support probably for founders who are new to the country, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the essentials. So because you don't have anyone, and such support is crucial. So what I wanted to ask you is. You are inside the trends. You learning about trends, and which one is most exciting for you right now at the moment?
Yeah. Well, should I say AI or not?
Well, you need to elaborate a bit. What exactly?
Yeah. Well, then let me try something a little bit more different, probably, because yeah, I mean, AI. We all are interested in AI these days, right? But I guess talking about trends, I want to touch on a slightly different topic, because yes, I'm I joined VC space like when I came from untypical background. Yeah, not your typical VC background you would expect. And
What kind of background actually? It's because as far as I know, there are many guys from banking, from
yeah.
advisory, like so.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent like 10 years working for, index ventures or
Oh, okay,
something,
okay.
or I haven't spent 10 years in maybe private equity or something that you would, I think, expect. Or I'm not a founder, yeah, who can be a VC now and apply his operators experience. So I did a lot of other stuff, which again helps me a lot with my current journey. But so these are examples I gave, which I think describes more or less your average VC investor. So what I was trying to say in terms of trends, so answering your previous question, is I like that VC space is becoming more and more open for people like myself, people with different backgrounds, people who are not local to this ecosystem and who maybe not thought about themselves as investors, but they happen to invest, to build their own funds, or to launch syndicates, or just to make angel investments. And I think that that's amazing, because like the statistics, especially not especially, but I work closely with UK, so I see what's going on here in terms of who is getting more funding and who is getting less funding. So yeah, like people statistics really depends on like stage, gender, your backgrounds, your ethnicity sometimes. So this kind of things, and I think it mainly comes from like the top of the value chain. Yeah, because look at who are your typical LPs, who are your typical VCs, and then it kind of makes sense why we have such a like lack of funding for, let's say, overlooked founders, or like founders from different backgrounds. So I'm really glad that, yeah, it's kind of, I think over the past few years it became kind of easier. It's still not easy to enter this industry, but the industry is becoming more and more open, which I think is absolutely a positive thing for everyone involved. So we can have different perspectives, different views, and I think eventually we'll end up supporting different founders, which is, I guess, win-win for everyone. So that's a trend I really like. I'm not sure if that's the
Mm.
case in other countries, but in the UK. So that's what I've been observing.
No, that sounds promising, I must say. So I hope it will be a bit easier, because last 2 years in venture industry, it was like crush and burn. And the same with funding, with startup funding. All right. So you mentoring startups for a very long time. So what do you think, how you evolved as a mentor, as an investor?
Yeah. So I would split this question and like to answer two parts. So talking about mentorship, I don't think of myself as a mentor, to be honest with you, because I'm still learning myself, and for me, it's more about sharing those mistakes I did myself and sharing those lessons learned, rather than let me teach you how to do stuff. And these are like top 10 mistakes founders would make. So I'm not a big fan of this approach, but I'm a big fan of sharing things I learned myself, I went through myself. So it's more about sharing my personal experience and challenges.
Well, actually, I believe that mentorship actually is about that, when you can share your experiences, not what you read somewhere. So
I mean, I've seen different things.
Oh yeah, we can talk about this for a very long time. We don't have such time. So.
Like people who are professional mentors and
Well, I think mentorship is first of all about sharing your experiences and what you mentioned, like don't go there. I mean, and so on. So sorry, I interrupted you.
No worries. So that was the answer about the mentorship part. And in terms of investors, again, same. I'm still learning. I know it may sound scary, and hopefully our portfolio companies are not listening to this interview, but I'm learning on them as well. It's just, you need to start somewhere, right? And so we started investing initially as angels, that is as Angel Group, which I'm leading. We started investing about 3 years ago, and now I see, and again I've already done tons of mistakes, and you're learning every single day, and something new is happening. The situation maybe you never you never seen before and you never experienced before. But I guess what helped me, so it's kind of few things, more tangible and less tangible. So more tangible, it's you need to have strategy, you need to have deal flow, you need to build network religiously, just being there, being with people, being in ecosystem, not just to be like a passive observer, right? And in terms of less tangible things, it's same I already mentioned. So it's about communication. It's about building relationships with your founders, with your investors, with the broader ecosystem, because you are a part of it. Despite that, we are quite small company yet, but we are part of this ecosystem, this mechanism, and you're playing certain roles. So it's about kind of building these networks, building relationships, something that will help with like other stuff, again, deal flow, finding investors, finding partners, etc., etc. So I'm not sure if I answered your question, but this is pretty much how I see things. Plus, it's about like constant education, and in this industry, just crazy how things are changing, as we speak. And I have my books, my courses, my mentors, people who are helping me. So it's quite complex complex activity, if I can put it this way. But who said it's going to be easy?
Well, continuous learning is a part of the journey. And actually, I believe that when you're gonna be 80, you're gonna be learning something. So
Yeah,
this is
that's the point.
mindset, and this is wonderful. So don't be shy about it. I think that
No,
this is
no.
a part of successful person, because every successful person
Mhm.
continue learning. Otherwise, you stop, you die. Like basically,
Yeah.
it's about business, about yourself. Like so you're doing wonderful. So what advice you would give to someone looking to start tech company?
Just go for it. That's my number one advice. I don't think there is a perfect time to do so. So when we launched Blue Lake, the very next year, pandemic happened. Then the war in Ukraine. Now it's kind of crisis in the whole industry. But yeah, I guess the tricky part is just to, yeah, it's always difficult to start, and I guess there is no advice how to do it. Just do it, yeah, like like Nike guys say. But yeah, go for it and keep going. I think that's the attitude which helps a lot, because there will be difficult times, there will be challenges, yeah, be it a personal level or be it a market level. But again, yeah, great companies were born when the times were terrible, and which means it is possible. So yeah, yeah, just do it. That would be my advice.
Okay. So how do you envision the landscape of venture capital in next several years?
Tricky question, to be honest with you. I would probably elaborate on what I already mentioned. So, and this is more what I hope will happen rather than what I see will happen. But anyway, I think yeah, I think about future VC industry, or like tech industry, as a more diverse space, and space which is more open for people from yeah, as I said before, people from different backgrounds, people from different parts of the world. And it will not be just about key ecosystems. So I'm thinking about US or UK. It will be more spread across the globe, where no matter where you were born, you have opportunities to start your company, tech company, to find funding, to find investments, to find support. Right, so it will not be concentrated just in certain parts of the world. So that's my view. So again, the message I kind of keep saying, just in different words, is that I want this space to be more accessible for different people, if that makes sense. Yeah.
What do
So
you think will help to create such space? Because right now I feel like it's more deglobalized
mhm,
because of the lack of capital.
yeah.
So do you think this is going to change within the next 2 years? There will be more capital?
I think the capital is there. I think again the issue is that it's not available for everyone, and it probably shouldn't be. But if you are talented enough and you have all the skills and experiences, but again, you may have came from different backgrounds, or you just were born in not the place where these opportunities are. So I think that's the issue. And I'm looking at the UK ecosystem, which I love, and for me, it was quite a journey to relocate to UK and to start building my company here. But it's not ideal, and I see these barriers, I see these challenges, these biases, and I don't think it should be that complicated. So yeah, and again, I think the changes should come from the top of this food chain. Yeah, who are these LPs who are investing in funds? Who are these funds that are investing in startups, so that we can have, different people from different backgrounds at different levels. Yeah, not just on the startup level, but also on the LPs and VCs levels. So yeah, that's my view. Yeah, I can talk hours about that, just mainly because it's something I have firsthand experience with. But that's my view. Yeah. So, but we'll see. I think it's changing, as I said, and I see kind of the positive signals and things which are changing again as we speak, but we're not there yet.
Oh yeah, hopefully we're gonna be there in nearest future. Thank you so
Fingers crossed.
much. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and for sharing and for not holding back. I hope you will find your uh, resting system.
I hope so too.
Yeah, and we'll be balanced. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, and thanks everyone who's watching, and have a great day. See you soon.
Thank you so